Hello. How is everyone doing? Stevie, hello. Lynn, hello. Pat, good morning. Michael, good morning. Here we are. Oh boy, that's right. I haven't seen a lot of you since last week when I was sick. Well, I'm not sick anymore, so that's great. And I did have quite a really great recovery, honestly. Do I feel 100%? Yeah, I do. I feel 100%. I tested positive 8 days ago. And I'd say definitely yesterday I felt great too, and definitely getting over it. So I'm also on a 26-day detox, eating nothing but super nourishing foods that are highly nutrient dense. So I've got all this amazing nutrition going through me, super hydrated, and I'm sure that that's also contributing to my speedy recovery. Nancy, good morning. Oh, my regulars. All right, so you're my regulars, and maybe there's another person or two that may not be or is. I don't know. So a couple of things. Number one, I'm taking a group to Scotland May 1st through May 9th. I just had a spot open. Something happened to somebody, her husband, she had to drop out. Anyway, so I do have a spot left. Stevie's on that trip. It's going to be amazing. I mean, it really, really is going to be amazing. And I'm in the major parts of planning it right now. Going to see puffins. We've got a luxury coach that's driving us around the country for 6 days. We're in this big, beautiful coach with windows that you could see all over. It's going to be wonderful. So if you've ever had a desire to go to Scotland, this would be a really great time to go. So any of you that would like to speak to me about that, contact me. And I think you know how. So I think most of you know how. I don't know. I usually put my email there, but I'm like, it might stay up there forever. And I don't know if I want that. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, go to DebbieRobinson.com and fill out a form there on my page, DebbieRobinson.com. It's a great group of people, 3 men and 7 women. Well, 6 women. So anyway, it's just, I want to give you that opportunity because I would like to know who's going to be there with me. And I want it to be people that I love on this trip with me. So that's one thing. And then, what's the other thing? The other thing is I have a lot of courses coming up, especially courses to do functional labs to look at bone loss. So if you're having digestive issues or bone issues or issues in your life that you can't figure out what to do and the medical system can't help you, then I would love to speak with you about that as well. All right, so those are the 2 things I wanted to say right away. And then the other thing is I'd like to focus on strengthening balance today because we are going to Scotland, and I had conversations with people yesterday, and I would say that 3 of the conversations I had were concerns about balance. So we're going to work on balance today, and we're actually going to do some standing and some chair work, which I haven't done in my Wednesday class in a long time. And I used to do it when I was live. So I'd like to do that because you had to get to here, right? You're standing up all day long. So yes, we do a lot of great functional floor work and laying down the foundation of joint health, of bone health, of joint strength, and all the things that are important for balance. But I'd also like to get up today and to do a little bit with balance as well. So that is going to be a part of today's practice. It'll still be manageable and gentle and for wellness. We could use a chair or a wall or whatever that is. So don't leave if you hear that and you say, oh no, not for me, because balance is critical to happy and healthy aging and to the quality of life that we have. So definitely going to bring in some of that today. And then is there anything else that anybody would like to, oh, I know, Stevie, I know you're happy about that. But we're all happy about that, right? So yeah, I mean, when you start to lose your balance, you start to move differently and move less because you're more concerned about falling and fracturing. And when you move less, when you don't use it, you lose it. So we have to use it. And what better way than to use it in a structured environment where we're actually learning what it is we need to learn and to focus on when it comes to balance. So, yep. All right. So there's no other questions or anything, then I'd like to get started on today's practice. Okay, so let's do this. Here we go. Okay, wait, let me just make sure this light is on. Okay. All right. So for today's practice with wellness, the focus will be a little bit on balance. So it's, of course, it's on all wellness. We're going to add this aspect of balance. Balance in our physical body, balance in our internal body. We balance the internal body with breath because breath affects the metabolism or the biochemistry. That's where we help the pH be where it needs to be in the body. So we manage that that acidity, that alkalinity acidity balance, which is really important for health. And it brings in oxygen, which is for energy production. So breath helps with the physiology and balance internally. And then we'll do some of the physical practices that help with balance as well. So let me turn off my dinger. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but notifications. Do not disturb. Do not disturb me. We're practicing yoga. Oh boy. It's crazy. I don't know, but I definitely feel super energetic, and I'm assuming it is because of all of this great nutrition and hydration that's in my body. And so it really makes me realize how important hydration and nutrition are for energy production internally, and then for the way we feel, right? So only life we have to live. Let's make it be the best it can be. So for today's practice, you'll need a block and a strap. And then I have 2 blankets here because today I want to do a supported back bend. Back bending really important. And when it comes to balance, if your posture is off, so the farther forward your head goes, the more roundness that comes into your body, the more forward your shoulders are. When all of those things happen inside your body, that actually makes balance more precarious. So perfecting the posture is one of the aspects of helping support balance. So that means we need the strong upper back and neck muscles. We need to find that alignment throughout the day. And we need the core and the trunk support that stabilizes and supports posture here in the physical body. So we need that here. So we're going to begin with a supported back bend. And really one of the ones that became my favorite practicing at home, I never used to do this when I would practice live or when I would teach live, because I had props, I had all these bolsters and blocks that I would use for supported back bends. The blanket rolled up. So take the blanket into your longest range. And I do have an extra blanket here for those that wanted a bigger opener, and I'm going to show you, or if you need support at your head. So if you could do just this 1 blanket, or you could use 2. So if you have 1 blanket, you take 1 blanket and you roll up this 1 blanket really tight. So roll up your blanket, roll it up really, really tight. Okay, so the tight blanket. This is a pretty big blanket. So this is a bigger, thick blanket. So it's going to give me a little bit more support here. So that's that. And then for those of you that have head or neck issues, you may need to have another support, some kind of support at the top for your head. So that's one aspect. Or if you wanted even more of a chest expansion, which I'm going for, I'm going to take this blanket and put it across where my heart will be. So I imagine my heart will be around there. So we're going to bring your tushy onto the ground. Your bottom does not go onto the blanket. So keep your bottom off and then bring yourself down onto the blanket. And when you're here, move your legs so that you range yourself, so that your pelvis is on the ground, your spine is on the blanket, and you either have the other blanket up by your heart or by your head. So do what feels appropriate. Close your eyes when it's appropriate for you to do so. And then bring your arms out to the side, or begin with your hands on your belly. So really determine your nervous system, and how you're feeling today will determine
what you need to do. Like, how quickly do you need to close your eyes? Because having the eyes open helps you to arrive into this posture. And then what you want to make sure is that if you do feel a stretch behind your neck, back there where the neck attaches to the skull, that there's muscles there and the tendons of the muscles of the upper back and neck area, you want to make sure that that's not too tense, too intense of a sensation. So you don't want to have your head too low. And if that feels too strong of a pull, then you maybe need a little support behind the back of your head. Begin to arrive, closing your mouth, breathing in and out through your nose. You breathe in and out through your nose. And you begin to notice what you notice. Notice your surroundings. And then when you're able to gather your thoughts and bring your awareness to your body, bring your awareness to your body. Developing body awareness is critical to stay healthy forever. To notice what you need to notice in your body so that you can minimize wear and tear. You could hear and notice symptoms early on so that you could turn that ship around and do what you need to do for strength, flexibility, balance. Take your arms a little higher if you can. Bring yourself into a place where you feel a pretty deep stretch behind the chest, or maybe where the arms attach to the body or down the arms. Do what you can. And then placing yourself in this position so that you feel a stretch and you feel supported by the props. And then allow your body weight to relax. So if you'd like to straighten your legs, you can straighten your legs, or you can keep your knees bent. So if you straighten your legs, you're going to bring the pelvis and hips into it. And if you have any tightness in the pelvis or hips, that's going to translate to the low back. And so what we're doing with the blanket right now is we are stretching the spine and the postural aspects of your body, the shoulders, the chest, the thoracic spine. So it would be nice to focus on just that. And if you do bend your knees, then you will be focusing on just the upper body. And if you feel pretty relaxed and you don't have any low back issues and you want to straighten your legs, you could do that too. But with the knees bent, we allow for the low body to relax, and we focus more on stretching the upper body. And this is going to be supportive of balance. Close your mouth. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose. So let's do a little today with our breath and our mind at the same time. So beginning to really establish that deep internal balance by regulating breath, stimulating parasympathetic nervous system, so managing the nervous system, managing the respiratory system, and let's manage the mental layer as well. So beginning with your mouth closed, breathing in and out through your nose, bring your awareness to your diaphragm, which is the muscle that lines the whole lower rib cage. Feel the diaphragm moving down towards your legs on the inhale. And then follow it back up to a neutral position on the exhale. Let your mind be in your diaphragm. Breathing down, feeling the diaphragm move down. And even breathe down and back so you feel your low back pressing towards the bolster or the blanket or whatever you have behind your spine. Let's start to do some mind management as well. Take an exhale. On your next inhale, repeat the word silently to yourself. I am safe. Say the words, I am safe, and feel your diaphragm moving down to your legs. I am safe. Adding on. Next words, I have enough. And really feel that you have enough of everything you need. Food, shelter, clothing, basic necessities. I have enough. I have enough. The next words to bring into your mind. I am enough. I am enough. whoever you are, wherever you are in your life, everything you have, everything you've done, at this moment, I am enough. I am enough. Let's finish our last 3 breaths with these last 3 sentences, these last 3 pieces of awareness to really absorb into your body, your mind, and your soul. We'll repeat the words on the inhale and on the exhale. Take an exhale. Inhale, I am enough. Exhale, I am enough. Inhale, I have enough. Exhale, I have enough. Inhale, I am safe. Exhale, I am safe. Let your breath go back to your body. Bring your awareness to your feet as you wiggle your toes. Take your legs one at a time and straighten them. Close your eyes, let your awareness be in your low back to see how your back responds as you straighten your legs. If the low back doesn't like this, go ahead and bend your knees. And then let's take our legs pretty wide here. Let the toes flop to the side. Then reach your arms overhead to whatever place you feel the biggest stretch in your body, like you're on a stretcher. Stretching the front of your body. Front of the body gets tight all day long with the way we live. This contributes to poor posture, can contribute to falling, contributes to malcommunication with the nervous system for balance. So really stretch your body glove to your maximum. Try to reach your fingertips to the ground if you can. Reach your feet long, feel that stretch in your body. Pull your ribs away from your pelvis. Breathe to your belly. Take one more breath. And then bend your knees. Bring yourself onto your side. Let's take the couple of breaths here to recalibrate whatever needs to be recalibrated. Take your hand, bring your hand and spread your fingers wide. And then don't let your head go first. So pay attention to that as you strongly start to push the elbow and the hand. Activate those upper body muscles, important for maintaining shoulder joint integrity and maintaining posture. So those words, I am safe, I have enough, and I am enough, are very powerful because the triggers of stress are fear and scarcity. Fear of death and scarcity of losing whatever it is you're scared of losing. And those are triggered and stimulated throughout the day with what we hear, what we see, what we think. It's called a mantra, which is a mind tool. Man is mind, tra is tool. That's a great mantra to repeat to yourself if you wake up in the middle of the night and you have trouble getting back to sleep. It's also a great mantra to practice throughout your day. And the times that I find myself getting ahead of myself or whatever, when I'm starting to get really stressed, I will repeat those words to myself, and it has such a powerful calming effect. So I am safe, I have enough, and I am enough. Really powerful tools for managing stress. So let's move on to some warm-ups for our body and then go into some balance practice or balance work. So getting ready to practice our balance work, get your space ready, blanket at the top, the block and the strap are there. And then let's bring ourselves onto our tailbone area and modify everything according to what you need. So wherever you have issues, modify. I'll tell you what the most important parts of each position we're in is, so you could find that in your body. In this seated position here, you want to make sure that you don't collapse your chest. You don't round your shoulders. So wherever your hands go, make sure that they're in a place to support your posture in your upper torso. The best place is closer together and hands facing your body. So that would be ideal if you could find that in your body. Take your feet pretty wide here and start to do a little movement side to side. So we're stretching the hips, stretching lower body as it relates to the upper body, moving, letting your knee come in. Notice your body kind of starts to move down and you may need to readjust. Bring yourself back up. And then bring yourself into a position like this where you can hold your hands underneath. And let's do a little balancing act on the base of our spine, which is your tailbone. So look forward, lift your heart, don't collapse your chest, don't round your chest. Let your gaze be up, throat be open, and that'll help to facilitate that movement for you. And then rocking back and forth from the front to the back of the lower spine, the coccyx bone to the sacrum, the part of your spine that's embedded in your pelvis. This is where a lot of nerves actually branch out that go down to the feet to turn on muscles for balance. So you want to make sure that we're nice and loose in this area and communicative in this area. So feel yourself rocking on the bones of the back of your body. And then the core has to be involved here to help with this. So let's work on strengthening the core for this. This is called Navasana boat posture. So come up here and hold on to your legs. Your elbows are out to the side. So have your elbows out to the side. That'll be supportive. Don't let your elbows go down. You want your elbows to be helping here because that's going to help to elevate your heart. So come here and hold on to your legs. Hold on as much as you want or need. If you're feeling pretty strong, you could see what happens if you only let your pointer fingers hold on to the backs of your thighs. That's going to activate more of your core muscles, the leg muscles, the hip flexors. Maybe you could try to take one hand off, bring that back, take the other hand off, bring that back and forth, one hand and the other. Or maybe you explore taking both off. Make sure your heart is lifted, your throat is open, you're not collapsing in your chest. Take one more breath and then bring yourself down. Just a little wake up for the body. Let's come on down onto the ground. Bring your hand forward, always thinking about the integrity of the upper spine, keeping it nice and safe. Let's start to warm up the body. Take your legs long, your hands long. Inhale here. As you exhale, draw one knee into your chest. And then inhale to switch. Exhale, one knee in. And switch. If this is a little challenging for you, you could keep your legs, your knees bent and do it from a bent knee position. So it's a little less work for the low back. So you could be here and you could do one knee in at a time. Or you could come into both legs are straight and you bring one knee at a time. So we're starting to asymmetrically warm up the body, getting the core to activate, the hip flexors, stretching leg muscles, back muscles, shoulders, arms, torso. One more each side. getting the blood to flow, the lymph to flow. And then bring both knees onto the ground. Walk your feet closer to your body. Bring one knee up and then the other. Let's unbend one leg at a time. So here, having the knees closer to the chest, a little easier on the back. Having the legs right above the pelvis, a little bit more challenging for the core and for the pelvis. Do what's appropriate for you. Let the center of your heel go straight up towards the sky. Feel that stretch coming into the hamstrings. Pick your head up, lengthen the back of the neck. Feel that work that's happening here. We need to have strong legs for good balance. And then draw your knees towards your chest. You can make this as easy or as hard as you'd like. The more you move through the range of motion and the more muscular action you move through the range of motion, the more work you're doing. So even in this simple warm-up series we're doing here, I feel a lot of intensity and burning in my quadriceps. So I know I'm doing a lot of muscle work, moving through lengthening and contracting of the muscle. And even if it looks like it's pretty simple, what we're doing, you could do a lot. Take your arms to the side, another opportunity to stretch the shoulders and the chest. The higher up the arms go, the more stretch you're going to get. Keep the soles of the feet on the ground. Start to go side to side a little with your feet on the ground so that you're keeping your pelvis stable. The pelvis is not leaving the floor. And then start to let the pelvis leave a little bit more. So now you start to go a little bit more. So now the spine is getting involved. There's a little rotational force into your spine. For those of you with low back issues, make sure that feels okay. And if it doesn't, keep the soles of the feet on the ground and leave this be mostly a hip joint movement. Don't let it come into lumbar spine. You determine where your pelvis goes. Bring yourself back to center. Go a little wider here. And do the same thing. Whether you keep the soles of the feet on the ground or you let them roll off, let the movement be mostly about that top leg coming in. Let that knee going in come in and move away from you. Even grab the top of your mat if you'd like, so you can really push the leg away and really lengthen that side. Try to unbend that hip joint. Get that stretch to come into your core, your hips, so that all that communication of balance can transmit really freely in your body and not get stuck along the way. And then bring yourself back to center. We're going to open up the hips. So let's come back to that bent knee position and let the right knee open to the side and come back up. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract your core to come back up. Don't let anything else move. Let the pelvis be where it is. And then come back up. Let's do the same thing with the left. The left opens on the inhale and exhale to come back up. Notice in your own body what happens here. Where do you feel this? And then bring yourself up. Let's take the right leg on top of the left. So the right leg is on top of the left and your right knee is going to the side. So you could see a space through your legs here. Your right leg is on top of your left leg. So this is called thread the needle or figure 4. So this may be enough for you here. You may be feeling a pretty substantial hip stretch here. Or maybe you're able to bring your leg a little closer to your body. Or maybe you're able to reach through in between the right leg and left leg with the right hand. Hold on to the back of the left hamstring. This may be a place you're able to go. Or you're maybe able to come here. Push the right knee away from you with the muscles of your body. So you're pushing the right knee away from you with your mind and your muscles. Take one more breath. Really important because this is where the nerves from balance come from brain down to feet. So let's switch, take your legs off each other. Let's bring the left leg across the right, pushing the left knee away from you. This may be where you are. Maybe you feel enough tightness here where you're able to go a little more, where you're able to bring your leg off, or maybe you're able to take your hands behind, or maybe you're able to come into leg lifted and pressing in, and then you push that left knee away from you with your awareness. I don't like to use my hands to push my left leg away. I want my body to find the deep stretch itself without me passively adding that stretch. You may feel this on that posterior hip. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bend. Bring both knees into your chest, rocking side to side. So now we have our body nice and warm. Let's do core. Core, super important for balance. So let's take the block in between our knees. Take your hands clasped behind your head. So for those of you that have low back issues or have little challenges, you feel that you don't have a very strong core, having the blanket folded even higher, lifting your upper body up off the ground will give you more access to this part of your body. So if you have challenges, fold the blanket. That's very supportive to lift your upper body off the ground. Take your hands behind your head, clasp your hands. Reach your hands long and then use your hands to gently add traction to your neck. So lift your head away from your body with your hands. So really creating as much space in the cervical spine as possible. Press your arms down towards the ground. So let's first focus on the 3 points of establishing core stability. So the first, you're going to bring your awareness to your belly. You're going to imagine there's a tennis ball right underneath the flesh here. Bring your awareness to this tennis ball. Inhale, and on the exhale, draw your awareness to the tennis ball. Lift your muscles, all your muscles to the tennis ball, and then press down towards the spine without flattening the lower back. Inhale to release. Exhale, contract to center. Push down towards the tennis ball, towards your spine. Feel a deep contraction. Feel the pelvic floor engagement, which may mean you might even feel the anal sphincter muscle activate. Bring your awareness, close your eyes to the tennis ball, push it down strongly towards your spine without moving your back towards the ground, and then release. That's the core for stabilizing. Now bring your awareness to the shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, push your shoulder blades strongly towards the ground with your hands in this position. Inhale to release, activating your hanger, the upper part of your body. Again, press the shoulder blades towards the ground and then release. One more, press the shoulder blades towards the ground. Bring your awareness now to the back of the head. Inhale, exhale, push your head strongly towards the ground and inhale to release. Close your eyes. The next time you push your head strongly, feel all the way down your spine to your tailbone that there's a communication that takes place in the body when you do this. When you press your head back, that activates the spine, alignment, posture, and balance muscles and nerves. Now let's do a few where we do all of them. Take an inhale. As you exhale, push the tennis ball, the shoulder blades, and the back of your head towards the ground. Inhale to release. Exhale to activate. Inhale to release. One more. and then release. Bring your awareness to the block. Start squeezing your block. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Squeeze the block. Inhale. As you exhale, press the tennis ball towards your tummy. Don't let your low back touch the ground. Push your belly as if there was a tennis ball to release. Getting those deep core muscles to activate. One more, stay here. Stay up. Take little sips on your inhale. And on the exhale, reaffirm your core to press down. Low back is not pressing into the ground. Tailbone and shoulder blades are stabilizing your trunk here when you lift your head away from the ground. Elbows are out to the side. Nose is straight up towards the sky. Stay here. And then inhale to lower. Let's do a little of the rotational muscles. Take an inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the block, press the right hand into the ground, lift the left elbow up and over to the right. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze the block, lift the torso up, and then rotate the upper trunk to the left. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze and stabilize the lower trunk, rotate upper trunk. See if you could feel that from lower ribs down, you're stable. And the movement of rotation is from the lower ribs up, rotating the rib cage. One more. And then bring yourself down. Take the block out, bring your knees to your chest. So there's a challenge there to the low back because we were actually stabilizing the lower spine in its neutral extension curve. So when you do core work, sometimes this translates to some sensations in the back of the body, working on strengthening this area and trying to get the spine to stay in this neutral curve, because that's where you could create the most force to strengthen your spine. And it's also how you minimize wear and tear on the spine. So we're going to do another core exercise that's going to involve the mind as well, because the brain is a big part of balance. We want this to all work together. So this is a movement here that we will be doing it's a diagonal pattern. So the main part of this is that the arms stay stationary and only one of them moves at a time. So bring your hands back one at a time, making sure the other one stays without moving until that one comes right back up to center. What I notice is that the other hand wants to move away when you're going back. So try to keep that hand stationary. One hand stays stuck while the other one moves. Bring your hands back up. With the feet, you touch your foot down and back up. Down and up. Notice how when you put your foot down, you have to stabilize your trunk. Your low back, your core gets active. So you have to hug your lumbar spine with your core as you lower the leg down and bring it back up. The farther away from your body you put your foot, the more intense that movement is. You determine what's appropriate for you and your body. Bringing yourself back to neutral. Let's activate the core and press the low back towards the floor. So let the low back touch the floor. Let the low back be towards the floor, so that we'll start with a couple of these. Exhale. As you inhale, let the left hand and the right leg move away from center. Exhale, bring them back to center. Inhale, right hand, left leg. Exhale, back to center. You're tilting the pelvis back, flattening the low back towards the ground to protect your spine on these first couple of movements. And then bring yourself back to center. If you want to come into the neutral pelvis, your low back doesn't touch. The pressure is in the middle of the pelvis. See what works for you. Exhale. Inhale, left hand, right leg. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, right hand, left leg. Exhale, back to center. Go slow. Slower is harder. One more. Bring yourself back to center. Draw your knees to your chest. Bring your knees in. Then come to a happy baby. Holding on behind your thighs. Draw your legs down to your body and move your body side to side. If you're able to reach the toes with a wide leg stance. So you only hold on to your toes if your legs are far apart, not if the feet come together. Pulling your legs down towards your body, whether you're holding onto your toes or behind your thighs. And then let's bring your feet back onto the ground. Pause, close your eyes, hands in your belly. Feel what you've done already for your body and notice where you're at, what's appropriate. Then let's stretch our legs, having muscles that are flexible, having tissue that is unobstructed is a best way to support balance. So draw your right foot in, take your strap on your right foot. Let's stretch the ankle first. So keep your knee slightly bent. Kneecap is pointing towards the wall behind you. You're holding the strap, the right piece in the right hand, left and left. You start to pull on the strap. The strap is right at the arch of the foot, warming up the ankle joint. The leg doesn't move, only the foot is moving. So keep your leg stationary. And then come to a static hold. Let's take the leg back with the knee bent. So take the leg back with the knee bent. Feel that stretch in the hamstring. And then bring yourself back, straighten your leg and take the leg back. Different kind of stretch. At least 8 seconds for a stretch to happen is what's needed, up to a minute 12. Past a minute 12, there's a refractory period, a recalibration of the muscle fibers. So in that 8 second to 1 minute 12 second is a sweet spot for muscle stretching. Bring yourself back to center. Bring the strap to the top part of the foot. Inhale to bend your knee. Exhale to straighten the leg. Really strong calf stretch here. Bend, straighten. Bend, straighten. One more. And then bring the left foot up, take the strap on the arch, put the right foot down. Let's move just the foot, not the leg, stretching that ankle joint side to side. You may even feel a leg stretch as well, be in this position. Then come back to neutral. Let's take the leg back with the knee bent so you feel a stretch in the belly of the muscle. And then bring yourself back to center. Straighten your leg and guide the leg back towards the wall behind you. And then bring yourself. So the strap comes to the top part of the foot. Knee is bent. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Then go ahead and take the strap off. Draw the knees into your chest. So before we come to standing to do the balance, let's do a little for the back body. So bring yourself all the way onto your belly. Come all the way onto your belly. Come into a Sphinx posture. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders. The hands are on the mat. You could move the blanket away. Hands are on the mat. Hands are spread. Let your toes touch. Soles of the feet up towards the sky. Elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Push your hands down. Now draw your rib cage away from your pelvis. Push your heart forward and then push away from the ground to feel a strong stretch in the front of your body. Draw the ribs away from the floor. We need to stretch the muscles in between the ribs and the pelvis. These are trunk support muscles, postural muscles involved in balance and joint coordination and alignment. Breathe to your belly. Press your belly towards the floor with each breath. That'll stretch even more. Take an inhale and look over one shoulder. Exhale back to center. Look up with your nose. Let your nose stay high. Nose is high the whole time. Inhaling to look. Exhaling to come back. And then bring yourself back to center. Lengthen your spine as you come down onto the ground. Take your elbows out to the side. Toes touch, soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Lengthen your neck and let the forehead touch the back of the hands. Exhale. Inhale, push your hands into the ground. Nose points down towards the ground the whole time, lifting your upper body away from the ground and down. Inhale and down. One more. Bring your nose to touch the floor. Arms are out to the side. Elbows are the height of your armpits. Spread your hands. Palms are on the ground. Long neck, long spine. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Lift up your body as if you're like a kitten being lifted up by a mama cat. Push your pubic bone towards the ground as you lift up. Exhale down. Try to get higher with each lift. Bending your spine a little more, activating your back muscles a little more. And then bring yourself down. Open up your hands. Thumb is on the mat. Four fingers are off the mat, a little higher than your shoulders. Press your hands into the ground a lot. Lengthen your spine. Push your hands down and drag your hands back towards your feet. Forehead touches the ground. Exhale. As you inhale, let your nose feel like it's pushing a marble away. Push the marble away. Let your head come up and then let your spine follow. Exhale to lower. Push a marble away with your nose. Begin that movement in the cervical spine. Let it translate down to the thoracic. And then lower.
Coming into cobra. Go slow. Use all these muscles. One more. Come up and hold. Take your hands off the ground. Put them back down. You want your body to stay up with your muscles of your back, not your hands. One more breath. Bring your hands down. Fold your hands. Take your legs really wide. Forehead and the back of your hands. Wiggle your pelvis side to side. And then bend your knees. Let your legs go side to side. Bring yourself back to center. Take your arm long and bring yourself onto the side. Take your hand on the ground. Push your hand into the ground and your elbow. Feel that muscular action there. Bring your top knee in. Take an inhale. As you exhale, push through the heel. Push your hand in your elbow and bring yourself up. So a lot of warm up for balance because all of these muscles are involved in balance, and we have to set ourselves up for success when it comes to balance. So part of what I think happens is that we either forget to set ourselves up for success. We don't appreciate that as we age, there's diminishing things that happen with muscle loss, bone loss, and nerves can't communicate with the muscles that are not there to be turned on anymore. So we don't appreciate that we need to take that time to strengthen, to lengthen, to create that space, to open up that line of communication so that we will be successful at balance. So raising your awareness to this is a big part of keeping nice, strong balance. We're going to come to a standing position now that we've been here for a little while. Take your blanket, clearing your space before you get up, so make sure your props go off to the side. You don't want to trip on anything. And actually having a clear environment around you is a big part of fall prevention. So bring yourself now to this position, so your body is in this position. From here, bringing a foot forward, pretty far forward, flip the back toes under. Take your hands on that front leg. Then you're going to push yourself away from the ground, forward and up, and then step forward. When you reach down to get your blanket, you're going to bend your hips, not your spine. So you might need a wider stance. You need to keep your head lifted and bend your legs, load into your hips, load into your knees to get your blanket up and away. So let's get a chair or be near a wall for support. So having the chair or whatever you need, really important. So one of the big aspects of balance is the feet, because this is where the musculoskeletal communication happens. This is where your muscles, your nerves, your joints, your bones communicate for where are you in space. So we need to make sure that that start line is ready. So let's take our feet, bend your feet. So bend your toes, just your toes. Bend your toes one way and then bend your toes the other way. Noticing if there's a lot of tightness for you in your body. And if there is, how easy do you think communication will be in tight tissue? It's not so easy. So we really need to keep this limber aspect to our feet. Let's do the same thing the other side. Bend your toes one way and then bend them the other way. And even if you look forward when you're doing this, and I want you to feel what's happening, feel that. Feel that bend in the toes, that stretch. Now let's take this to the top of the feet. So bend your toes and put your foot back a little more. If balance is an issue, grab your chair. And if you needed to sit in a chair, if there was something going on, you could sit in a chair and put your feet out to the side and do this kind of stuff. Take the other foot back. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's do the side. So you want to tip your foot to the side. So start from a position where you're rolling, intentionally rolling, stretching your ankle so that if it does roll when you're walking, that you don't pull on the ankle joint and cause stress fracture in the bones. So from this position here, rolling to the edge and feel that stretch that comes into the ankle. And then enter it a couple of times, really pushing your ankle, rolling as much as you can. And then let's go to the other side, the other foot. And then really pushing as much as you can. Let's try both at the same time. And then bring yourself back. Now we're going to bend our toes and weight bear and come into a place of balance. This is where you might need the chair. This is where you might need the wall. Grab the floor with the toes. Start to elevate the heels straight up and away. And bring your awareness there. So grab the floor with the toes. Feel the centers of your heels lifting away from the ground with the balanced toes. Moving through this. Grab the floor. Lift your heels. Feel the bones of your feet. And then come all the way up onto your toes and walk around a little, like air high heels. Walk around like this on the tippy toes. And then do a little hop on the tippy toes. Lots of communication in your body. Come to the heels. Stomp your heels. Walk on your heels. Center of the heels. Feel the center of the heels. Let your mind be there. Feel that heel, center of the heel, with each time it touches. And then bring yourself back to center. Chair's there if you need it. Bring your feet together. Let's do a little challenge to see where we're at with our balance right now if we're doing a lot of warm up in the feet. Let your big toes be only about 4 inches apart or 2 inches apart or 1 inch apart. You could take your hand on the chair if you need. You could bring your hands on your waist, put your elbows back. That'll be helpful. Push your body weight to one side. Bend your knee. Bring your knee to the side. Either bring your toes onto the top of your foot or bring it in between your ankle and your knee. And take 3 breaths here. Bring your knee back. Bring your foot down. Bring your awareness to the center. And now come onto the other foot. Bend the toes. Knee out to the side. Either bring the foot onto the other foot or bring it in between the ankle and the knee and take 3 breaths here. Grab the floor with your foot. Bring your foot forward, bring your foot out. Noticing what you notice about yourself. Let's come into a little bit of moving our weight and then having to hold it. So you're going to move to one side, pick one foot up. Move to the other side, pick the other foot up. It could be a relatively wide stance. Going from side to side. Really let the whole side of your foot stick, and especially the pinky toe edge. So don't go into it. Don't be duck-footed when you come into this. Try to really have your feet forward. Go stick, go back and stick. Stick. Leave your chest up. Now look up to the sky when you do this. Change the position of your head, because head position is the vestibular balance system, side to side. Don't let your feet collapse. Don't let the arches come in. Keep the arches away from the ground. And then back to center. Shake your legs. Let's do this more like in a walking natural position. You're going to take one leg lifted and then switch. So we're going to go one stick and the other stick. Try to really lift your leg pretty high and try to let your legs be forward. So you're changing your body weight in different positions. And try not to be too quick. Try to get that pause to come in. And then bring yourself out. Shake your legs. Heart rate may be accelerated. And then bring yourself back to center. So we're going to try a little bit of movement forward and back, almost as if we were trying to be walking. So have your chair wherever you need it if you need it. So you're going to bring your hands together like this, because when the hands are together like this, it actually creates a circuit and it actually stimulates a sensory cortical brain. So really pushing your fingertips in towards each other will be helpful with this. Feet are forward. Let's take one foot back, slide it on the floor with the toes, and bring it forward. Touch the ground, slide back. Your upper body could go forward and slide forward. Tipping your upper body so the hip joint is getting involved, upper body's coming forward. Lifting your leg. One more. And then let's go to the other side. Let's bring the leg back and forward. So you could slide the tip of the floor on the ground, or if you're feeling pretty secure, you could let the foot go forward and back. So loading forward and back on that standing hip joint. Hip joint has to figure out the balance of your body, and the leg muscles have to respond. Foot has to grab the floor to make sure you're stable. One more. Bring yourself back to center. Come into what is called Tadasana, mountain posture, posture of alignment. Let your big toes touch if you can. Let your hands go down alongside your body. Reach down with your hands. Push into the floor, get tall in your spine. Look straight ahead. Take one eye and close one eye. Only do this if it's appropriate for you. And then switch to the other eye. And switch back and forth, because the visual center of balance is one. There's three different aspects of balance: visual, vestibular, and proprioceptive. Go back and forth and see if you could close your eyes. Not for everyone, but if you do close your eyes, let your eyes go into your body. Let them go all the way down to your feet, to your toes. And then, of course, if you have balance issues or things that are happening that you know you shouldn't do that, then don't do it. Take one more breath. And then open your eyes. Take your hands, shake your hands. Let's gather whatever happened, whatever challenges you experienced, whatever came up for you today that made you think, I'm not strong, I'm not limber, I'm not balanced. If any of that kind of stuff came in, any stress of what we just practiced, let's release it. So let's take a big inhale and grab the stress. Hold it and exhale. Inhale, grab it. One more. Let's go down and let all of that seep into your cells to become a new memory of better balance, stronger balance. So let's get our blanket, whatever else you need for Shavasana, gather it now. And then when you come down onto the ground, load into your joints, keep your head high, load into your joints, use your hand on your thigh, bring yourself down. Bring yourself all the way down onto the ground. Any last minute, anything you need to do, taking your limbs into the air to let your hips and your shoulders rest and settle in the spine as well. Could be a nice thing to do, or knees to chest. Then find that nice long position in your body, fully stretched body, letting everything go, shoulder blades towards each other, flat on the ground, legs spread. Let everything integrate that just happened in the practice today for you. If you'd like, you could repeat the words, I am safe, I have enough, and I am enough. Gently begin to deepen your breath and start to bring movement into your body. Bringing your knees into your chest. Rock onto your side. Opening up your hand on the ground. Let's push away to bring ourselves up to whatever is a comfortable seat for you. We're going to close the practice with sound. Bring your hands together at your chest. Press your heart to your hands to your heart. Long spine, long neck. Allow that communication up and down your spine to be unobstructed. Find that beautiful postural alignment. Push your body weight back.
Make sure you're growing straight out of your pelvis. We're going to close with a hum. Take a big exhale. Inhale. Bringing your hands up to your forehead. Bowing forward at the hip joint, not at the spine. Feeling what that feels like. In gratitude, then you can let your head bow. Namaste. Hopefully you learned some things today that you can take off the mat. The breath work, the mantra, I am safe, I have enough, I am enough. The movements to keep your body limber and flexible. The standing movements keep your feet warm, to keep your balance going. Challenging yourself all day so that you keep yourself in this great, strong, balanced place forever. So you use it so you don't lose it. All right, how was that? I kind of went over, right? No glasses, no sense of time over here for me. All right. How was that, everyone? Everyone, anyone that's still alive? Good. Thanks, Michael. All right, and remember, one more spot left for Scotland, May 1st through May 9th, 2023. Get in touch with me if it's something you're interested in, and we can have a discussion about it. Good, Stevie. That'll keep us nice and balanced in Scotland. All right. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, bye-bye.